It is Dawn, and this will be a video that circles back to the very beginnings of this channel. When I came on YouTube reluctantly it was because I was guided to share what Spirit called messages to the masculine. And when I started making videos, little did I know where it all would go. And I was well aware at the time that, I was called to a specific path in this life, and I shared some about that back then, and that's really not the point of this video. By the way, I'm losing my voice at quite an inopportune time, so please send prayers that I can keep my voice, and forgive I'm in my studio and those paintings are not finished. I just realized I should have moved those. But I tried to make this video this past weekend. I actually did make it, but I just went off the rails a bit, and it was a very long video. This one's going to be very short. So when I started this channel, it was specifically because God made it clear that He wanted me to share in, whatever way I could, this sort of encouragement for the masculine that is within each of us, and for those who are meant to lead with the masculine polarity, which includes, both males and females. It's not about gender; it's about the dominant primary energy within each of us. Dominant's probably not the right word, but I think you understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to be too critical about my words. I really want to just get this message out. So it's twofold. I'm just going to not go nearly as deep as I did this past weekend. I might come back and do another video, but primarily what I want to convey is, for the first thing, is that we're at a very critical juncture right now. I don't know if anybody finds this video who has followed me in the past. They may remember a couple of videos I'll reference. One was back in, I believe, 2017, 16 or 17, and it was about holding the line, and the line being a circle. And I had a, kind of a particular vision about how that was unfolding. And I have to say, like a year or so later, I was so deflated, because I was like, I guess it didn't happen. Well, I'm here to tell you, it happened. It happened. And I see it all differently now. I have a hard time articulating it, and that's why that video I tried to make went on and on and on. And I will come back and share more, but all I want to say is it's good news. And this does not pertain only to the path of sacred partnership, or those who are called to what has been referred to as a twin flame path. That is part of it, but it's really about that, to make this transition, this passage into a new society, to rise into a realm of radiance, step into and co-create this new earth together. It is going to require that love leadership from all of us, and specifically the masculines who are stepping forward right now, those who lead with that energy, that it's everything. It's everything. And I truly believe we are at a pivotal point. The other video, I'm just not completing my thoughts. So there was the video about the circle or the line is a circle, and there were layers of energetically, and these things happening in the higher realms. There was another video, I believe it was in December of maybe 2020. I'm not sure about that, but I think it was around then. And it was this incredible very finely tuned orchestration that was going on. So again, both of these being energetic processes. And at the time, I remember, I don't know that I said this in the video, because I thought, well, that would be a bridge too far. But what I sensed very much was that there were layers to that orchestration. And there were literally people who had passed that I knew one of them personally, but all the other ones I didn't know personally. I only knew of them. And they were helping orchestrate this thing. And I don't really know exactly what my part of it was, but I think it was just anchoring the energy. And I think many of us were doing that at that time. And what I want to say to you is, I'm recording this on the 13th of April, is that, right now, between now and I would say about 3 months out, so that would put us to July, maybe even to the Lion's Gate of 2026, is just going to be a beautiful unfolding. Obviously, there's going to be, things that come up, shadow work, there's going to be, trepidation, no doubt. And for all of us who are stepping into this time of, in the year of the fire horse, is that right? Yeah, fire horse, this action, and it requires a lot of courage. The other thing is, because I recently shared those France videos, I ended up connecting back to some of what I had written during that time, and some of the photos I took that aren't necessarily in the journey, although some of them are. And there was a lot in that time that I just see it so clearly, not only from my personal experience, partly that's actually the gateway to what allowed me to make this connection, connect the dots about this collective. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a miracle. And I guess what I wanted to share, so like some of those things I wrote while I was in France, there was the personal things. I shared some of that. You guys probably, if you followed me, know about that. And you can see a lot of that in the free France videos that are available. And then you can join Soul Stories if you want deeper, if you want more of those experiences. But some of it that I didn't share was a lot of layers, some of the energetic things that were happening during that time that didn't relate to the personal journey, were again very multifaceted, multidimensional, I would say. And it was like, how do I say this? It was like as if you think about like some sort of really surround sound, interactive kind of experience that you're in, where there's all of the senses are activated, including senses that we don't necessarily talk about here on Earth. So during that time, that was 2016, and then all the way right up to our recent years, and then in 2020, that was the beginning of the seeding of the 12 diamond dimensions and the 7 wonders of the soul, and those being raised up within us. The 7 wonders of the soul are faith, hope, love, healing, growth, passion, and beauty. The 12 diamond dimensions are a little harder to speak to, but there's a video series on my channel about those, and that all was being seeded in the years 2020 to 2027. So we're well into that. We are currently in the time of passion, moving into beauty, which is really the culmination of those other 6. Okay. So back to what I'm trying to say here is I've been shown just these most beautiful energetic layers that are coming into harmonics, harmonic resonance, I guess you could call it. And I have felt it myself, and I have seen it externally in glimpses in the collective. And I just want to encourage us all. It's been a long road. Like these years, 2020 to now, have been challenging, I think, for almost all individuals, and certainly collectively, massive change. And then, for those who, well, we all have our own way that our souls signed up for to activate what is most true within us, our soul's truth and radiance, our star power. And I think that there have been unique challenges for healing the masculine energy. Collectively, certainly, we see that. And I think in most, in most individuals, myself included, I have to really remind myself, because I have walked the path that I have, I had to create a way to the best of my ability to call that forward and to like just survive. I had to overcompensate sometimes. And so what I'm getting at is that for those who lead with the masculine polarity, it's a beautiful time. It's scary to step fully into that place of being visible, because it's vulnerable, and we have a lot of things to still work out, don't we, in terms of our interdependence and in relationships, one-to-one relationships, communities, then states, nations, regions, cultures, the world. And this is something that is a beautiful thing that we have the opportunity to do. So I'm going to encourage all of us to continue to stay the course in terms of finding the positives in learning to do that powerfully. What was the other thing? There was one other. So hold on. It's going to come back. It's going to come back. I know it is. What was it? I think I forgot. Okay, I'll make a part 2 if I need to. Yeah, so just a word of encouragement, everybody. Continue to bring your love, healing. God knows we've all done a lot of healing, and we're going to keep doing it, because that's the beauty of it, is that we can continue to grow and to become and to celebrate more and more who we are. And it's always more than we think it is. And yeah. Okay, I'm going to just make a part 2 about, I know I've forgotten something. My voice, though, is going to completely go if I don't give it a rest. So lots of love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.